Not that I need a script or even a teleprompter to read from, because there are people that you just watch on the sidelines. You watch them in the game of life, how they maneuver, how they deal with the ebbs and flows of life, how they deal with challenges of life, how they cut down tall grass and they blaze trails, that they believe in themselves. They believe in the purpose by which God created them for. My guest today, my dear friend, Astria Goolsby, she is such the poster young lady that will encourage you, that will inspire you, that will walk beside you and share her testimony. Not that you will elevate her, but that you will believe in the greatness of God inside of you. You are going to enjoy this program today. My friend, Astria Goolsby, on Defining Moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm so glad that you've joined me again today on Defining Moments. Listen, I've said this many times before that I enjoy all of my guests, and each guest that I have on this program, they've been providentially appointed. Now, I don't want to get too churchy. So what does that big word mean? That means that I pray and I ask God, who do you want on this program? Why is that important? Because I know this program is not about me. This program is about you. It's about speaking into your life. It's about inspiring you. It's about encouraging you. And yes, it is even about challenging you to embrace your created purpose and live it with the spirit of excellence. So what does that mean? That simply means, and provocatively means, that you're not created by accident or incident, that God created you for purpose, on purpose. All right, let me put a little scripture on it so I can validate that. The Word of God says that we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus. Here we go. This is the word of appointment, unto good works. That means that we were created for good works. That's our purpose. We are not saved because of good works. We're saved to do good works that Christ Jesus, that God prepared for us beforehand. So let us dissect that. That simply means, and let's put it this way as an example, because I'm a visual person. God created the Garden of Eden. He could have created the Garden of Eden to be self-sustainable. That means that it takes care of itself, but He didn't. He created Adam and Eve to care for the garden. What does that have to do with me? That means that God created a need in the world, and He created you, your DNA, your handprint, your intelligence through Him to address that need for His glory and for the edification. That's another big word again. That's another churchy word, for the building of the body of Christ. So this program is all about you, and you are going to be blessed today. Once again, by this guest that was providentially assigned for this day. She is my good friend, Astria Goolsby, on Defining Moment. Listen, if I were to read her entire bio and her body of work, we would be here for 7.5 hours. You're not interested in that? Just Google her name and you'll spend a couple hours like, wow. But I have to at least acknowledge her body of work, because what she has and what she's been able to accomplish, it wasn't given to her. She has had to work very hard for it. A University of Mississippi graduate and certified fitness trainer, Astria has spent over 15 years transforming lives through health and wellness. As the founder of Verve Health Station, a project manager for statewide fitness initiatives, she is committed to improving health outcomes across Mississippi, and I dare to say this region, the nation, and globally. Listen, I am excited to have, I need to slow down because I'm so excited for you to listen to her and for you to be encouraged, but I need to slow down, breathe, and get my pace. I'm delighted to have my friend Astria. Astria, where have you been?
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Larry. I've been out there.
You have been
I've
out
been
there.
out there doing what I do.
You know,
Doing
there
what
are
I do.
people, when they come to your consciousness, they give you a perspective, good or bad, negative or positive. But when I think of you, it is always in a positive sense that, boy, she's getting it done. And she is making a difference. She is making an indention in a positive way in the area of health and fitness and well-being.
Thank you. You know, the hard part about making an indention is that you have to be the one to hit and to make the actual mold or to make something solid a different shape. But thank you for that.
And sometimes that can be very uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable.
Because sometimes you have to tell people what they don't want to hear.
That's
the indention.
You do. Tell people what they don't want to hear, or just start something and have to walk away from it and
Wow.
and watch it grow, or hope that it grows when you leave. Just telling, even small things that you get upset about. Talking to someone over coffee and telling them about an idea that you have, and then you look up and they're doing the idea.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, how disappointing.
But you can't let it disappoint you.
Yeah.
That's you making an indention.
Yeah.
You know, you have many ideas. Go
Yeah.
and do something different and let that person go and be great at that. And my thing is, I just need that to be done. And if you're
Yeah.
the one to do it, go do it. But it'll take a little wind out of you. You're like, wait a minute. But you have to learn. It's learning.
You see what I mean? I believe, now she's not without flaws. She's not perfect because she's human, all right? But you see what I mean? Everybody needs an Astria in their foxhole. In other words, they need a cut man. You know, a boxer, when they're beat up and they go to the corner with scratches and cut, the cut man bandage them up and say, okay, the fight is not over. You got to get in the fight. Mm-hmm. and not just be beat on, but you know what? You got to throw some swings as well. Astria, how did you get here? Because you're one of the most positive, self-motivated people that I know, but I know that where you are is as a result of having life. How did you get here?
Well, how did it all start?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was about to be evicted. I walked out of our recreation facility at Ole Miss, and I said, God, I need a job. And I remember one tear dropped, and I walked right around the corner, and a lady said, hey, Astria, do you need a job? And I was like, I looked up and I said, yeah, I do. And she said, great, personal training upstairs. Now that's enough. But the underlying part of that is that this same lady was an instructor of mine for a class a year ago. And she told me I'd make a great personal trainer. And I laughed at her in her face.
Wow.
I laughed. And I was like, ma'am, I'm going to deliver babies. I'm just in this class to get an easy A. But thank you. Let's just do this and keep going. But when she said that, I said, okay, God, I knew it was him. There was no doubt in my mind at that point, because I was embarrassed, one, because I laughed at her. This woman just complimented me, and I laughed as if I was better than being a trainer.
That's beneath me.
Like that was beneath me. And at that time, I had that perception until I need a job. And when that came, I said, okay, humble. Okay, I'm humbled. Yes, ma'am. I do need a job. And that lady went up there. She never even thought about it. She went upstairs and told them and said she's going to make a great trainer one day. And they hired me on the spot.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
That easy? Or okay?
I was like, okay, God, what are we doing? I'm literally talking to God. I would say, okay, God, what are we doing here? And I was like, well, I need to learn how to be a great trainer. So I would walk around and ask the other trainers, how do you become a great trainer? And one trainer would say your certifications, and the other would say how you motivate. And at the end of those couple of years of just really diving into personal training, I'm talking about, I woke up in the morning, I opened the gym, and I would close. I would take breaks because I had to figure my life out. I was at a point, I'm about to be evicted. We have to figure something out.
So you at that point. So the impetus of this program, Defining Moments, and I want my producer to hold that name up. The impetus of Defining Moment is that God creates all of us for purpose, as I said earlier. Mm-hmm. And he will allow us to meander, kind of wander through life. Mm-hmm. But I believe that there's that second that minute that he will introduce us to our purpose, to say, this is the reason that I created you. Now, even though he's given us freedom of choice, he reveals to us why we were created.
But it's not that simple, Larry. There's levels to that, because, okay, now I'm in this fitness center and I needed a job. I have a job. It was that easy. Okay, we know that this is the environment. What do I do with it? So then I trained two ladies. I had two ladies. I had one lady that just wanted to understand fitness. She was, pretty fit. She come from up north and moved to Mississippi. And I had another lady who needed to lose weight for a wedding. And she had never been, let's say, under a size 18, right? And so when I finished training both of them, one lady cried and the other lady tipped me money. What do we do with this guy? So then I started to learn that there's different avenues for training, right? And I also became the one of the staff leaders. And so I just told him, like, hey, I want that girl's job back there. She's about to graduate. I want to sit in an office. So I was sitting in the office. I was putting in, the attendance. I would do paperwork. I have a client that just wants abs, just to make it relatable. Yeah. She just wanted abs. And I had another lady who needed to lose weight for health reasons, right? Or, it was health was involved. That's three different aspects. So which way do you go? And I chose, okay, I want to do this for people who need this for health. And let's see what happens. And so that's when the door opened up, because my thing was, if this is from God, then I have to serve some sort of way, right? Right. And I thought about being a trainer, because at the university, if you have a trainer at a college, usually they're getting paid maybe $10 an hour, might be $7 an hour. So my thing was, okay, even at $10 an hour, 3 sessions a week for 1 month, where I come from, that's somebody's phone bill, right? Where I come from, that's on your car note. That's gas to get from the county to the city where you have to work. So I knew that being a personal trainer, there were people that I cared about who needed me they couldn't afford it. So now we have to figure out, how do I help those who can't afford a personal trainer? And then that's where the journey began.
All right. Now, in full transparency, you need those people in your life that won't agree with everything you say. Right. That will have banter, back and forth banter. But their whole objective is you're good. But I said, defining moment, she said, well, Larry, it wasn't that easy. Well, my point is, and was, and still is, but that's when, even unknowingly to you, that's when God introduced you to your purpose. Yes. When you needed a job, because you're about to get evicted, and you got a job just like that. Now, you didn't understand all of the nuances of everything that would take place hours, days, months, years later, but how long has that been? Since that day, in terms of years?
2015.
All right, got it.
No, 2000. Yes, 2015.
So several years.
Yes.
And you're still doing it.
Yes.
Now, when I say still doing it, you're much more than just like a physical trainer, let's exercise. Because your focus is, which I think is the proper focus, you're concerned about the holisticness of a person's being, their well-being. Yes. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into it, and then we'll just kind of ebbs and flows through the conversation. And so you founded your company.
That was God-given. Everything about that is God-given.
Now, I'm interested in, how did you come up with the name? Because you don't hear that name every day.
So I was training, and Verve started. Actually, I started in 2005. Okay. I forgot how old I was. Okay. But I started in 2005.
21 plus, but go ahead.
And so, received.
Got it.
And so, about a few years later, after I got out and got into the world, I was at a gym, which I went to a gym, and they wanted me to work there. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I have clients. And they didn't even charge me a fee for clients. I've worked for free. I've never been charged at a gym that I worked at. But that's another story. So I was there, and someone that went to high school with me walked up to me. And he said, "Hey, Astria, I see you training around here, and I need help with my blood pressure, but I can't afford a trainer."
Wow.
And he said, "But I work in marketing." He said, "But so I will, I can put together a logo for you and help you come up with a business name." I said, "Okay, great. Cool." And so he did. And he came up, we sat down, he put a lot of words on paper. We talked about how it was a 3-day process. We talked about how the words made me feel, what the meaning of the words were, how they rolled off my tongue in the future, how people would perceive this word. We talked about all those things. And we went through, actually my first logo was stolen by a potential business partner of mine.
Oh, wow.
And then he came
That's
back
why
with
you
that.
have to be, and I've said, and I've had to learn this lesson. Even the Bible gives us wisdom about it. You have to be careful about who you tell your business to.
Yes.
Because everybody that's with you is not for you.
Yes. But I was moving so fast at that
I get
time. And so he did it, and that was his payment for training, and I was so appreciative. I just kept training him. Then I had another classmate walk up to me in the gym and say, "Hey, Astria, you need an LLC." I have not seen this young lady since high school, and she worked at a bank, and she put together my LLC for me, and I have not really talked to her since. She's just kind of
On purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And so she did the LLC, and I was sitting there, and I had a brochure, a business card, and a legit business, and had no clue on how to run a business.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. So,
you know what? Remember I said earlier, and I've shared with you many times that I'm a visual person. You just gave me a visual of the man who had been by the pool for 38 long years, Bethsaida. And Jesus came up to him and said, "Do you want to walk?" And rather than saying, "Yeah, I do want to walk," he started giving excuses as to why he hadn't been able to walk. He said, "Well, every year, once a year, the angel come trouble the water and somebody jump in and get ahead of me." And I would imagine if I had to write a little bit more of the scripture, I would have said, "I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you wanted to walk." Jesus didn't even entertain his response. He just told him, "Get up and walk." The man got up and walked. Listen, this whole, and you felt it when you walked in here. You felt it because we have kindred spirit. I said, "Lord, you want me to build this?" My background is broadcasting. I've spent over 30 years in broadcasting, ABC affiliate, Fox affiliate, NBC affiliate, but you're using somebody else's money to build stuff. You just budget for it. But then when God says, "Now it's you. I'm not going to give you the money to do it, but I'm going to give you but you're going to do it through faith." You're going to do it through faith. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You're going to do it through faith and favor. Okay? You're going to do it through faith and favor.
No one can stop you when you know that you have faith and favor.
And where you are sitting, and ladies and gentlemen, what you see, you've been walking with me a long time, is as a result of faith and favor. I said, "Lord, you want me to build this?" The Lord said, "Yeah." I didn't expect you to do it. I expect you to have the faith to do it, and you have garnered favor all of these years. And I'm going to put people in your path. You're not going to have to ask them. They're going to see it and ask you, "What can I do?" And this is as a result of people coming up to you and saying, "What can I do?" My logo, the colors, the set, the furniture, all of this is as a result of not my brilliance, but God's favor. That he will put people in your path. And I want to encourage you that if you're serious, God will bless people in your path. Serious people, not just talkers. There are a bunch of those. God will put people, in fact, God has already put people in your path that will help you birth it out of you. But you got to trust him. And then you got to step out. Okay? He'll put the super on your natural. Have you always had, because it would be naive for people to assume, and you're so transparent. I mean, you meet people where they are. Have you always, they look at you and assume, "Oh, Astria, she's always been fixed up. She's a rich girl and wealthy girl and groomed
Do
and
I give wealth?
pristine and yeah, pristine and classy and elegant." You know, she's never had to fight for anything. She's never been broken. They see you now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a misnomer because they don't know your destination.
You know, you just said something that's interesting. You said you have to step out on that faith. And I've always, you know, I used to talk to God. I'm like, God, what is it about me? What is it about me? So not too many times have I stepped out on faith. I was pushed out on faith. Like I said, I was not going to be a personal trainer. I had to be walking down those stairs at that time, crying, saying, I need a job. And so therefore, the next job that came to me, I said, yes, okay, personal training. But remember, I was above that at that time. So, I mean, in just about every elevation in my life, I've had to be pushed out there. One, because I'm either juggling the do I do it, do I don't do it, the confidence, can I do it? I don't know anything about this. I'm at a community health center right now, assisting there. I know nothing about community health centers. That situation came back a year later. I turned it down the first time. God has pushed me out there, and I had to grow into being comfortable with the push. And then I was listening to music, and I had to understand to pray and ask God to direct my path without force. And so
direct my path without force.
I heard it in a song once, and I said, "Ooh, I need that because I'm tired of being pushed." He keeps forcing me to go into that direction that I knew maybe 6 months to a year ago I probably could have. If I had stepped out on faith, it would have been so less stressful than it is now.
But you know what I've had to learn, because I've been an ambidextrous fighter, which means for me it's a little comical. I not only throw punches, but I throw punches at me. And I do a good job sometimes of beating me up, you know. And God had to remedy that in me, inside of me a few years ago. He had to say, now you're beating yourself up because you say you've lost a lot of time, you've wasted a lot of time. But now you do know that I'm the God that can stop time, and I'm the God that can redeem time. You do know that I'm the God that can add more time to your life. I'm the God of time. I control time. Time does not control me. So get out of yourself. Quit looking at your number, how old you are, and focus on me. Because you know I can expand the time for you. If you don't believe me, ask Hezekiah. I can stop it.
Everything.
He'll pause it. He'll redeem it. He'll fight your battle. I'll do the supernatural.
He will pause. I have seen God in my life pause life. And it's like when I snap out of it and I'm done trickling down this little side road that I decided to wander down that I'm not supposed to be going. And I say, okay, let me get back to it. And it picks up right where it left off, and it double times fast. Somebody comes in and I'm like, okay. And that took years of seeing before I believed, to be honest. Because you know, when God comes in and blesses you, sometimes, you know, people say, oh, thank you, God. Oh, that's God doing it. But sometimes those blessings, you like, did anybody else see that?
Yeah.
Like,
I've been there, done that, have 7 t-shirts. I'm like that. God does it God has done things for me in such a profound way, Astria. I have to
hold up. That was weird.
Yeah. Did anybody see that but me?
And so you don't have people around you, because as you go through this journey, people come and go.
Oh my God.
Even the people that stay with you come and go, because he will remove I call it test time. I've learned that when people that help guide me in life with advice, when they disappear and they're not answering the phone, or they're too busy for me and they can't help me when I'm in crisis, I've learned to say, okay, it's test time. Was I listening to what they said? Did I learn anything from the last situation? It's test time. What am I going to do? Am I going to keep repeating this pattern? My nickname is Pinky, so I'm like, Pinky, come on. I look in the mirror and I say, you know, what are we going to do with this situation? And again, being forced, you know, It's the love of it all. Because my thing is, you didn't have to force me, God. You did not have to force me. You could have allowed me to go work at Whirlpool. You could have allowed me, to move to a different state and sell cars. I was doing that for about 6 months, about 30 days. You could have allowed me, but then you ripped me out of those environments and placed me right back where it is that you want me to be. And it just had to sink in that, okay, one, what are you going to start doing in these test times? When are you going to get tired of the push, of the force? When are you going to get tired of that?
Hold on. Boy, I feel compelled now.
Well, come on. I like to talk.
There's someone who's been convicted right now. Mm-hmm. Whether you're watching this program for the first time or whether you've been watching this program for a while and you needed encouragement today, I want you to look at them and I want you to speak to them. Pick up where you left out. How long is it going to take?
How long is it going to take for you to get it? How
Astria,
many times are you going to have to go through the cycle and blame God and blame your uncle and blame your mom and be responsible enough to go get some therapy and find out that this is all in you? Because it is shaped by our environments. I didn't grow up in the nicest environment growing up. I was bullied. I've had, it's on the internet, I've had an abortion. I have been in an abusive relationship, and everyone didn't know about those situations. And it's like, how many times are you going to continue to go around these circles and believe what the world tried to force you to believe about yourself before you see? Now, and it's okay. My thing, the beautiful part about serving the God that I serve and loving Jesus is that it's always okay to make those mistakes. Just get up and go back to him, and then you're going to see that you always going to have another chance. So it's all about how long you want to do it. I used to tell my brother, your life is going to end up where it's supposed to be. It's up to you to determine how old you're going to be when you actually get there and get on that right path. It's up to you. You can be 80, you can be laying in your deathbed, or you can be 20. Because if you don't, you're going to notice a pattern in every force, every situation, every time he pushes you. There's something similar about the last time he pushed you. There's something similar about it. I come from a family of where, when I was growing up, that's kind of when divorces really started to get people were starting to get divorced in Mississippi. I'm going to say that. And so so I came up in a dynamic that was not, people weren't used to. You saw some of your friends, their parents were still together and your parents are divorced. It sets you apart. It puts you in situations where your mind starts to think as a child, depending on what age you are. And so from there, I started to crave my biological father wasn't there. I was already faced with that. That was a thing. And so I had these, I'm going to say, needs for the figure of a man that could help me, right? That could take the place of biological. And the blessing from my life, which is where my favorite comes in, is that I had a stepfather that stepped in and was the father that I needed the whole time. But because I'm looking at what the world is telling me that I don't have, I'm still searching mentally, and I'm choosing wrong. And I'm putting myself in situations, and I'm putting those needs before the purpose, before the plan that God has for me. I would, I remember when I was dating someone when I first started training, and I would miss work. If he said he wanted to go walk in the park, I'm going to miss work. I'm going to go walk in the park because I wanted to get married and I wanted to have a child. That was because I longed for that family dynamic, right? But it had to, and to speed this up, I broke down and got therapy one day. And it's not that therapy taught me that, oh, you're wrong and something's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You just need to understand yourself. Once you understand yourself and you understand why you are who you are and why you make the decisions that you make, depending upon the environment that you grew up, you learn how to maneuver better and you learn how to use those weaknesses as a strength. And so I came to understand that the blessing in my parents getting a divorce, the blessing in my father not being present and my mother having another husband, was that now I have two fathers, which makes it really hard for men, because I have a father that I can go to and talk to about anything. And then I got the manly father that takes care of everything. So I'm used, and usually you're gonna have one or the other. You don't have too many times. You don't have men from the country where I'm from. Men usually are very strong. They're gonna handle things. Daddy, my car is making a noise. Daddy, there's a hole in the ground or something going on outside. Daddy, the TV's not working. Daddy, the trash is full. There are things that men handle from where I grew up. I didn't have to handle things. I'm a different type of country girl. And so with that being said, he wasn't, he didn't say, I love you. And I didn't feel like I can go and talk to him about girly personal things, right? About boys. I didn't feel that with him. But when my biological father came back into my life, he felt, and I'm assuming this because we haven't had that conversation, but it seemed like he felt like he missed the taking care of me part because I was older. And so he just wanted to be there for me verbally. He wanted to give me advice. And he wanted to help direct me with that when it came to relationships and people. And so I was like, so I've got what I need. So what are you searching for? And I had to learn that in therapy that a lot of decisions that I've made was because I was feeding off the lack of what my environment told me that I have. And I thought something was wrong with me.
Listen, and you brought up something that I really want to address, because Christians, particularly in the African American community, and I know that's a large generic swap, that you just need a little bit more faith. You don't need to go to therapy. You just need to have a little bit more faith. And that's so erroneous. That's so misguided.
It's so misguided.
So for that person that has been shied of recognizing, I do need therapy. I do need. How would you encourage them?
One, find the therapist for you.
Yes,
that's the thing. You might have to go. I went through my therapy journey. Has been one. He forced me to go to therapy. We'll stop it there.
Okay.
But it is going through different therapists at different times in my life. This therapist, my first therapist, helped me intellectually. She gave me books to read. They helped me to understand my environment, the people around me, which helped me to think, because I am very self-aware. And I do have a sister and I do have cousins that I can talk to that are on higher levels than me, and they can help me work it out. But I needed some help. And so she gave me books. And then I went to another therapist that really was, his thing was, why are you doing what you're doing? But I would go in and I knew it was because of my environment. So then it was understanding that wall of why is it so hard for me to make certain decisions when it comes to hurting other people, even though it's what I need to do for me. I would sacrifice myself for people thinking that this is what God wants me to do. But that's not always true, because you learn that in church. You give up of yourself. If you have to, it's really hard. It's challenging. But when it comes to a therapist, just try it. I would tell people, just try
what?
one.
And I'll say it, and I'll even simplify it, not to be insensitive, but simplify it. If something's wrong with your car, you take it to a mechanic.
Take it to a mechanic.
If something wrong with your teeth, you go to a dentist.
You go to a dentist.
If something is something wrong with your eyes, you go to the eye doctor. If something wrong with your whatever, you go to them. If there's something going on with you, why wouldn't you ask God to share with you someone that you can go talk to that's trained?
Well, you have to have
credible.
And this is just to because people are human and everybody's on different levels.
Yeah.
And so when you say if you have dental problems and go to a dentist, you have people out there that will clean their own teeth.
Yeah. Wow.
You have people out there that will change their own oil.
I can do
they
it
will
myself.
they're gonna pull up YouTube these days. They're gonna try to do it themselves because they have an issue that they feel like they can do it. I can do it by myself. I can do it. And so when it comes to getting a therapist, man, you just have to really, it's good to have somebody who does not know your life that you can tell all your business to.
That's right. And won't take sides.
And they're educated enough.
That's right.
It's the education I go to therapy for.
Yeah.
You know, because I have my spiritual mentors. I have people in my life that I can talk to. I want that education. I want those letters behind your name so you can look in those books and help me understand why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. Why am I doing the things that I do?
Yeah.
I need that education.
Yeah.
And then the other part is as you grow in therapy, you learn to grow towards those therapists that can relate more to your life. Because again, my first therapist was about, here are the books. She was Persian.
Yeah.
She knew nothing about my African American world as a black woman in Mississippi, from Oxford, Mississippi, by way of Abbeville. She knew she knew nothing. But she gave me the books. My second therapist was an older Caucasian man who knew nothing about the African American experience. But he was on the side to look at me and say, why would you think that about yourself? Why would you think that you deserve that? They can see me in a different light than the people in my world could see me. Because, you know, when you get around people that's in your environment, they're human. I don't blame anybody. You're human. You're supposed to look at me and say, why do you think that you shouldn't go through the challenges I'm going through?
That's right.
So they might not give you what you really need, right? With that education behind it. So I had that. And then I got to my last therapist, you know, he's a little younger. He's a little hipper. He understands that, you know, you don't just date one person and get married. You know, he understands that you shouldn't do that. And he just helps me with follow through. He's like, you said last week that you weren't going to answer. What you doing now?
So she is much more than just a physical fitness trainer. She's very, you get engaged in a conversation with this one here.
We can talk all day.
With this one here, oh yeah, you listen.
She's
gonna take deep dives because she's concerned not only about the exterior and the superficialness of who you are, but she's concerned about the being, B-E-I-N-G, the S-O-U-L, the soul, the very fabric of who you are. She's my friend. She's my guest today, Astria Goolsby. Listen, stay tuned. We'll be right back. My friend, Kyle Reno, has a very special message about serving idol gods and the devastation that they can cause in your life, and you may even be unaware. Your habits, your rituals are more towards serving gods that are not real. We'll be right back with my friend, Astria Goolsby.
Hey, my name is Kyle Reno, Senior Pastor at Cross Gates Baptist Church. Here's a defining moment from this last Sunday.
Idols are incapable of being God. Yet, if we're honest, many of us at many different times in life will find ourselves bowing to serve one, will we not? We'll bow to try to find life from one. And I just want to say this and let God show you this. Whatever idol you may be serving, and while it might for a moment make life seem better, it might even let life get bigger. It'll never be able to promote real life. On the inside of every idol is hollowness. And every idol, hear me now, will one day burn. Come on. It will be one day cast down before him. One of the greatest things that could happen now is to learn how to see that idol crushed, killed, put to death. Man, listen to me. Katie and I are continually wrestling through what those idols could easily be in our life, what those idols could easily become in our everyday experiences. There's a fine line. Hear me now. It's a big statement. There's a fine line between things we enjoy and idols we worship.
Hey, thank you for taking some time to listen to that defining moment from this last week. If you'd like to listen to the sermon in its entirety, you can go to crossgates.com and we would love to have you visit with us any week on any of our Sunday experiences or our midweek opportunities. I'd encourage you this week to take some time and really think about what moments right now are defining your destination. God has more in store for you. Hope to see you soon.
What does the name Story mean to you? Our team put a lot of thought in what story means to them.
Story to me, I think of the word legacy. I think of family, I think of people, I think of relationships. I think some of my most fond memories are sitting around listening to stories, and stories from all different backgrounds, all different cultures, all different types of family relationships, professional relationships, and how those relationships kind of transcend time.
Every day we tell our story, the story of our associates, of our clients, of the communities that we serve. That's the essence of the soul of the bank, and it's why being storytellers is so compelling to us, because we've been telling our story for the last 4 years, and now we can go out and really show the market who we are.
Being able to tell the story and incorporating that in our name, to me, is a sense of pride.
It's just a continuation of the people we serve every day. And their individual stories that have made this place so special.
We are trying to change from being seen as just a commercial bank to a bank that is for anyone and everyone, because we are. And that is why we want to change to Story Financial Partners, because we want to know what your story is, what brings you to us, and how we can be a part of your story.
We're growing, we're evolving, and I see us being very successful.
The future of the bank is so bright, you need sunglasses. I mean, it's incredible.
Our future is like it is now, continues to be bright and growing, and will always go upward.
I am very excited. I see it as reading a suspenseful novel based on a true story, of course, because we've had a wonderful beginning, and where we're headed here is a to be continued experience. I'm excited because we should never put a period there. We should always put a comma, because there are greater things to happen with our story. To be continued.
Welcome back to Defining Moments. I am with my friend. Listen, second part of the question, what about that person who have so much, they have a dream inside of them? I've said before, I had a friend to say years ago, pastor said years ago, he said, the richest place on earth is the graveyard. That was kind of ironic. I said, why? He said, because that's where dreams went to die, unrealized. What about that person? I want you to look at them, encourage them, based upon your own experience. You know, you can never be my trainer. And I've told you that about 10 times, because I would absolutely hate you.
You would.
know? I know I would.
But you'll love me the next day.
I know, because of the results.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so we just need to stay intellectually connected.
And I'm okay with that.
And that's okay. So we're intellectually connected. But what about that person who says, I'm afraid I've gotten too old. I'm afraid that I've done too much damage to my dreams, to my destiny. I'm afraid that there is no reconciliation. I'm afraid that I'm going to die with this inside of me.
Well, first things first, God did not give us a spirit of fear.
Come on.
That's the one way you can understand that this is not from God.
Woo! Come on, Astria.
So when you say, I am afraid, and whatever's after that, you can throw that out the window. That's not of God. If you're following God, because that's the difference. That is if you're following these scriptures that says this, in my mind, in my, just way of just thinking rationally, if I'm going to follow this, if I say that I follow the Bible, then when I read that scripture, before and after we read and you break it down.
Come on.
You've got to follow that. There's no picking and choosing. That's something I have a problem with people. You can't pick and choose. God did not give you the spirit of fear. So if you're afraid, I'm afraid that I am too old. then you're not too old, because that is not God telling you that. That's about as simple as I can put that. Now that can turn into another show conversation, but
she'll be back.
That's the base of that.
And you're right. And so let me finish it for you, if you don't mind. God has not given to us a spirit of fear. Listen to this. God has not given unto us the spirit of fear, comma, conjunction, but of power, love, and sound mind. So if you're experiencing fear in your life, if you feel like for some reason you're being bullied, internally, it ain't, what I hear you saying, it didn't come from God.
If you say the word, I keep it simple. If you say the word, I am afraid, if you are afraid, if you feel fear, it's not it. Scratch it, keep it moving. Now, that does take you to be in a place of stillness.
Yes.
To understand, are you afraid of it? Because some people, they think that they're rationalizing, and they don't you have to talk to them, and they don't understand that it's actually fear. Because I have a family member who wanted to start a business, and she has children. And so whenever she got started, it was always the kids. And I had to tell her, if you're gonna be a business owner, businesses don't care about your kids.
That's right.
Not that you should not,
right,
but businesses don't care. So you need to understand and get this in your mind and come to terms with the fact that if you're going to run a business, you're gonna need some help. Or there are going to be times that you can't go and make the special sandwiches for your kids for lunch that day. They might have to eat at school. You can't pick them up after school. If you need to be at a meeting, you've got to be at that meeting. Their business is a beast in itself to run a business or to start a business. And so she didn't even realize that she was just afraid. Because as I talked to her more, and I was looking, I'm like, those kids are not asking you to pick them up. Those kids are not saying that they need you to make them this special lunch. Those kids are not. It's something deeper. And as we talked, I said, you're afraid. And she came back and said, I am afraid. I said, that's all it is. And once you gain the courage, and I'm all about, being in fitness in the realm which I am. I'm not rushing you. I'm not going to rush you. Again, this is all about how long you want to take to get there.
But you know what I appreciate about you, when I first met you and started engaging you, I'm like, well, Astria, I want to lose like 20 pounds. And man, I want to get those abs. And you were looking at me like you're looking at me now. It's like, okay, so just go ahead and get it out of your system. Just tell me all about it. I said, what would you do first? What would you work on first? You said, first thing I'd do is sit down with you and have a conversation with you about you. Not just about losing weight, about what's going on in your life. I'm like, uh-oh.
Because that's going to tell me how long it's going to take for you to get there. What do you have access to? What kind of time do you have? What is your social...
What kind of time are you willing to dedicate?
What kind of time are you willing to dedicate? I created a curriculum, Total Wellness, when I was at Tougaloo College. And so I love Tougaloo College. And so in that curriculum, someone came to me and said, Astria, what do these students need? They have a weightlifting class, they have an aerobics class, but it's not clicking, they're not participating. We need to help. What do they need to learn about everything else that affects fitness, everything else around them. You have emotional wellness, occupational wellness. What type of job do you have? Does your job going to allow you to take breaks? Do you work from sun up to sundown? Financial wellness. Can you afford a gym membership? Do we need to learn how to create a budget? Can you afford me?
That's right.
Being
I
realistic.
get it.
So you have to go through those things. And once I do an assessment on all of that, I can tell you, okay, this is how, now I can tell you how we're going to do this. Because it's not the exercises. You can Google exercises.
Yes.
You can ask AI to give me an exercise plan to give me a 6-pack by December 15th. And so that's not hard. So I stopped being concerned with that. It's the other stuff.
Yes.
So that you can actually get there.
It's the emotional stuff. It's the mental things.
And the physical things.
Yeah.
What does your environment look like?
That's right.
Because if you can't make it to a gym, if there's no gym, because we're in Mississippi now. That's the thing. We are in Mississippi. So if you can't get to a fitness center, then can you get outside? And if you go outside, do you feel safe? Is it well lit? What time do you get off work? Can you go early in the morning? Are the roads, can you walk on these roads without tripping and fall? It's so many things that go into it.
So yours is not just do 15 push-ups, but yours is about education as well.
Yeah. Oh, listen, if I train you and you have to go to another trainer, I didn't do my job. You only need to go to another trainer if you need accountability. You need an appointment to get there. But if you don't learn something from me, if you don't learn how to do a squat, if you don't learn that 90-degree angles, if you don't learn your body, if you don't learn the mental aspect, if you don't learn what to do when you do hurt your knee and you can't go to the gym, how do you still stay on track so that we don't have to, get weight off we gained? If you don't learn these things, and you can't, and I would disappear on you. I will be that trainer and I won't tell you. And I don't really care what they say, because my clients know that that I care about you genuinely. I'm going to be right here. And once you hire me as a trainer, you got a trainer for life.
Yeah, that's true.
You can text me, you can
That's
call
right.
me.
That's right.
I might not always respond, but I'm going to get back with you and I'm going to call you out the blue. I called a client I had back in Oxford. Well, she's actually lives in Aberdeen, but I called her.
Some people in this globe
what
have
are you
no
doing?
idea where Aberdeen or Oxford is.
What you doing?
Just say in Mississippi.
In Mississippi.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you eating? How's it going? And she tells me how she's done all these things and lost all this weight by herself. Because learning is like going down on a roller coaster. You start learning, you get excited about what you learn, and you go whoosh. And once you start that roller coaster, there's no stop sign when on a roller coaster ride. There's no pause and wait and look and see if a car is coming in left or right so I can keep going. No, you going. The momentum's going. So once you start to learn and you enjoy that learning and you're learning things that you need for your life, you're going to continue to learn. It's that simple. If you enjoy it, you're going to continue to learn in that lane. So if I can get you to learn about fitness, I need to know what type of exercises you like. Do you like free weights? Do you like the gym? I had a client that broke down one time because she had performance anxiety. We were in the gym and she turned red and she was like, I can't do a lunge. People are looking at me. I was like, and instead of me yelling at her and saying, do it, I just took her to a private place.
Oh, wow.
You met
her where she
I met you where you are, because guess what? When you're out there by yourself and you feel like you have that anxious feeling and you want to break down, you don't have somebody there making you do it. You've got to learn that, you know what, since I'm feeling this way right here, let me go to a private place and that way I can still exercise. Now you've learned about yourself. And so when you come into challenges with exercise and your journey, because your journey is going to change, because life changes, you will be comfortable with learning how to navigate, pivot. I play basketball. You got to pivot. That's the easiest way to get up and down.
You play basketball? I'm just kidding. I'm jabbing. Oh, look at that face.
Did I?
Look at that. Look at that face.
Lafayette High School 2001. Yes.
Say what?
Yes.
Oh, that's powerful.
So you have to learn to pivot.
I said that, and it was perfect timing, because you're like a celebrity. Yeah, because Rob J and Jamie Horton. You're on a lot of programs, but your message has always been consistent.
If it doesn't fall in line with what my message is and my purpose is, I'm not doing it.
So if you had to summarize Astria's purpose, what would it be?
To ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to a healthier lifestyle.
Boy, that's a great elevator pitch.
That was the very first thing I created when I first decided I'm going to be a trainer.
Say that one more time.
To ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to a healthier and happier lifestyle.
I have never been in her presence that when someone has asked her, well, I need to lose 15 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. You're like, okay, well, just stop eating carbs, drink 80 ounces of water a day and do 10 push-ups. I've never seen you simplify it or address it that manner superficially. Mm-hmm. I've always been aware that you've gone deeper and deeper in the conversation, because it's not that simple, is it?
No, it's not that simple.
That person is not that simple.
They're not. And anyone who tells you it is, get away from them. I don't care who it is. I apologize if I offend someone, but if they tell you that a lifestyle to morph into someone. You're morphing. Have you seen television and cartoons? People morph into something different. Your body is literally morphing into something else. You're no longer physically what it was that you were 6 months ago. You are morphing. Do you see them scream when they morph and they, That's the pain. It's just that on television it goes faster.
That's right.
But you're morphing into something else. It's not going to be. And as you're morphing, you're getting married. As you're morphing, you have kids. As you're morphing, your car breaks down. As you're morphing, you have death in your family. As you're morphing. So to morph into someone else, Larry, is not going to be easy. And you've got to stay focused on the morph.
Stay focused.
On the morph.
Stay focused. You about to turn
did
it
I
out
just
up
say
in
a
here.
word?
You just said a word up in here.
You got to stay focused. You have to stay focused. And sometimes staying focused means taking time to not focus on it.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you brought that up because I had this in my mind about 10 minutes ago. I said, well, I'm going to wait for the right time to ask this question. See, you know, I think you kind of led me into this. You mentioned earlier, a few moments ago, before we took the break, you said there were some things in your life that you went through and you had to deal with. What about those people that have gone through some of the same things that you mentioned? You say you can research me or you can Google me and find out that I was confronted with some things. I made some decisions. What about some of those people? I want you to look at them and encourage them because now they feel disqualified.
Well,
they feel ostracized. And listen to this, Astria. Now deal with this one. We're playing chess here.
I'm listening.
All right, I know you are. That's right.
Let me sit up and move my hair.
What about those people that are trying to checkmate themselves, or that have checkmated themselves?
Meaning
God haven't abandoned them. God still loves them, but they have self-isolated themselves because they have rendered themselves useless. And God never said that they were useless. They made some ill-advised decisions. And God said, now, I didn't tell you to make that decision. That decision wasn't about me, but you made that decision. But what you needed to have done that you hadn't done yet, but if you do it, you'll realize that I'm a gracious and forgiving God. You hadn't brought it to me. So for those people, so that you clearly understand the question, Astria Goolsby.
I'm listening.
For those persons that have disqualified themselves, have taken themselves out of the game, and they're living a life of regret and misery, but they want so desperately to get back in the game because they have so much to offer. How would you encourage them? Now I'm going to give you this time to look at them, not me, and encourage them.
And they want to get back into the game.
They want to get back in the game, but they have self-disqualified themselves.
Just don't repeat the same patterns. Don't repeat the same behaviors. It didn't work. Why would you keep doing something that doesn't work? If whatever, take a inventory of your life before.
Come on.
You make that change.
Come on.
Write down the decisions, the situations that happened, the decisions that you made, and then moving forward, change it. Now that's going to require some assistance. And then also you got to have a heart of giving, because it's only when you're serving others is when you're going to get what God has for you. Only. And it's not about what you actually physically do. It's about how you think and what's in here. He knows. If you have to sit down and close your eyes and breathe and feel it in your chest, if you don't have that, it's not going to work no matter what you do. You can fake it all the way, and you can fake it and get you a house. I'm going to say at that point, keep living. People come to me and say that, Larry. People have said that they see other people who they know aren't doing right and they are being blessed. I tell them, keep living. The game ain't over. The game is not over.
Come on, Astria.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. I can start stealing money at the age of 15 and buy my house, and people know it, and they see me walking around. Like, just wait till I turn 50. The hardest thing is gonna be when you're 50 and you're sick, and none of your loved ones are around, and the people around you steal what you have, and you don't have anything. And those that took the time, those that did it the right way, they didn't have a lot on that journey. But by the time they get up, they look up and like, you know what? I got a Lexus outside.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Have you ever looked up and said, I prayed for this? This is what I prayed for. It might be a trailer, but you prayed to have a house on some land. Be specific what you want. First, you got to understand what you want. It's nothing is simple for me, Larry. You have to know what you want. You got to be specific when you ask for what you want. You got to make sure that what you want is serving others.
So hold on. So when you say you need to be specific, you want more than just, Lord, I need you to bless me. Because I don't know what that means. You say you have to be specific. By the way, I agree with what you're saying.
Yes.
Prayer, God deals with specificity.
That has its place.
Yeah.
Saying, Lord, I need you to bless me has its place.
Yes.
I'm going to say that. But more times than not, being specific about what you want, because we start to complain and think about, I didn't get what I wanted. That's when you need to, I need to go back to the drawing board and be specific. I used to say, I said, I just want to be in the health field and helping people. Now, in my mind, that was living in a 3-story house out in Dallas, Texas, somewhere with a husband and kids and the picket fence, right? But look at me now. I'm in the health field helping people.
That's right.
You got to be specific about what you want. And then also respect the fact that if it's not what God has for you, he just might give it to you, but it is not going to last.
Ooh.
The only
whoa, slow down. Put this thing in slow-mo, girl.
You gotta let me.
I know. Put that way. DVR. You got to rewind this. Repeat what you just said. You got to be careful because you can. Well, I'm gonna let you say.
You got to be. Even when you be specific and ask for what you want, he will give you the desires of your heart. But just understand that it's not gonna last. The things that last are the things.
Because it may be what you want, but it's not what you need.
It's not what he wants for you.
It's not his destiny for you.
It's not the desires of his heart.
I know that's right. Once again, I said I'm visual because the children of Israel told the prophet, we want a king. God told them, tell them, you don't need a king, you got me. No, we want a king, Samuel. Okay. And God said, all right, I'm gonna let you have it.
Give you a king.
And gave him King Saul. King Saul started out nice until he got full of himself, and he turned them into slaves. So he'll give it to you.
He'll give it to you. Listen, I learned to stop asking for stuff sometimes, or just be comfortable with going back to the drawing board and say, okay, God, never mind.
Yeah.
I know I said that I needed a job. I know I said that, but can you give me a job where I can listen to music? Can you give me a job where I have a window? See, that's that occupational health. What are the things that you need in order to enjoy your work? But cars, for instance, what type of car do you want? If the car that I wanted was, if I go get the car that I want, it'll break down, I'll have an accident, and I'll be without a car for a while. When God gives me the car that he wants, it's always a car. The car I have now is not what I asked for. It's not what I wanted, but I accepted what he gave me.
But it's so you, though.
It is so.
It's a red sports
never
car.
Thought
it's
about
so you,
it.
Though.
Never thought about a red sports car, and I got it so fast. But he will transition things.
Yeah.
Of things that he gives you.
Yeah.
He'll transition unless he needs to teach you a lesson. Now, and I'm also I need to make sure I put a disclaimer out there.
Okay.
Is that God is infinite, and we'll never be able to fully interpret everything in what this journey is.
That's right.
So stop looking to man for the answers.
Yeah.
Because we're giving you guidance.
Yeah.
But once we give you that guidance, he just wants us to get you walking. But once you start walking, you're going to run into a wall that Larry and Astria didn't talk about on the show. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, they never mentioned this part. He's going to make sure that, okay, wait a minute, you still got to come to me.
Oh.
I sent you to help. I gave you the therapist. I gave you Larry. I gave you Astria. I set you down right on time to watch the show. But you still got to come through me. You still got to come to him. Because he is a jealous God. And it's not about being perfect. And don't stress about. My thing is, don't stress about the force and how he pushes you. Be in the lazy river. Just go. When you're in the lazy river, I told you, Larry, I'm in the lazy river. You said that
before we come on. Listen,
I'm in the lazy river right now.
Before we came on the air, I said, how you doing? She said, I'm in the lazy river. And I immediately knew what she was talking about because a couple of years ago, my wife and I were on vacation and she got in the lazy river and I'm like she's having fun. So I'm going to jump in it too and just kind of wherever it went, that's where I went.
I'm in the lazy river. I'm on my float and I'm floating through. And it ain't, lazy rivers are not just peaceful either.
That's right. It can actually.
You bump.
Yeah.
People pop up beside, they turn you over. You know,
But you have to be intentional, because people, with my personality, I've had to learn how to be content in the lazy river.
Be content in the lazy river. Let it bump you. Learn from it. Move forward. You're fine. You're gonna be okay. If you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be okay.
Oh, that's good.
My little brother came to live with me one time for a while, and you know, he had made his decisions in life, and I told my sister, let him make the decision. Just know that we're here for you. You know, you don't have to sleep underneath a bridge. Just make sure you come to us before you just feel like you have no one. He came to me when he showed up. You know, he had all kind of situations going on. I told him, come on in. And I smiled about everything, and he got upset with me. He said, you keep smiling, and you keep saying you love me, and everything's going to be okay. And I grabbed his hand, and I said, because I do love you, and everything is going to be okay.
Wow.
He needed this, he needed that. We couldn't get everything at one time. But by the time he left my house, I looked at him, I said, don't you have everything? I said, do you remember what you asked for when you first got to my house 2 years ago? He said, yes. I said, you now have everything that you asked for. Do you see it? Everything you didn't like about yourself. I told him, pray about it. God, this life is so magical. This life we are such spiritual beings in a human body. It's weird. I just want to say the word weird. It's weird.
I get it.
To me.
And I'm glad you quantified it just like that. You said the spirit and the human body, because that is the essence of who we really are.
We're spirits.
We're spirits in an earthly body, as opposed to putting so much time, effort, and energy.
To being earthly. I call them humans. When they haven't quite crossed over yet, you're human. You're still a human.
You have your own program, right?
I do. That's a blessing that came out of nowhere, just like all of them. I don't understand. I was like, radio? I wasn't trying to do radio, but it came to me. I was asked to do radio for an organization, and the CEO said, no, I can't. He couldn't do it because I wanted. Well, my thing was something like radio. I want to be on the back end, making sure that producing, right? I want to make sure you have what you have, your questions, make you look good, talk, go.
Yeah.
Never thought about it.
Yeah, you've always been that kind of cheerleader. Like, you can do it. I know it's tough. God, dust you off, get back up in there.
But that came one day, and I've learned to listen. So after a while, I asked the guy, I said, you think I can get on the show? He said, yeah, do what you want to do. And I was like, you know, that doesn't mean do what you want to do.
Right.
That's not what that means. And so I got on there, and he said, pick your music. I was like, I get to choose the music? He said, yeah. So I chose my music. I got everything together, and I did it once or twice. I was like, you think I can do this every month? He was like, yeah, if you want to do it every week, you can do it every week. Just let me know what time slot you need.
Yeah.
And I really just didn't. It was baffling to me. And it's like, and I go through these waves, you know, I accept it, and I'm in the lazy river, and then all of a sudden, you know, things distract me, and I get out and walk out. I get out the lazy river, and I'm back on the rocks with the hot asphalt up under my feet.
That's right.
And I'm burning my feet, and I get back in the water, and I'm like, oh, I forgot how easy the lazy river was.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I just took a breath, and I said, you know what? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And I just started doing it, and then guests started to come, and I was like, oh, it's too hard. I have to find guests. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to tell them, never mind. And I told him, let's back up for a second. I said, I might be moving too fast because I need to learn the business.
Yeah.
Larry, I was in the station in Hattiesburg. It was not even this station. They had me at multiple stations. And they said, this is going to be your station, because I'm thinking I'm professional, right?
That's right.
I go in the day before, I'm checking it out. Where am I going to sit? Because I've done this before.
That's right.
And they said, okay. I'm like, let's put a banner here. The guy's behind the glass. All right, I'll be here. We'll have my guest there. All right, good, I'm going. Came back the next morning. They said, oh, we had you in the wrong station. You're going to be over here. I was in a room with the board with all the keys and the phone, and there was nobody but me. And I was like, okay, God, here we go. Here comes the fun. And I had to maneuver my commercials. I had to maneuver the music.
Oh,
I had
my
to
goodness.
answer the phone. I had to interview a guest all at the same time. Talk about dump. And I did not get upset. Normally somebody would say, this isn't what you told me yesterday, and I have a problem. No, you go in. You have to be nice. That's something else. You have to be nice. If you are not nice, you need to go talk to someone.
Yeah.
I tell people that you need to go talk to someone.
Yeah.
You can get offended if you want to. This world is not meant to be dealing with all the negativity,
The craziness.
it's just it's negative.
Yeah, negative energy.
You feel like, oh, that's just me. It's just you. It's the part of you that is conforming to the environment you were put in to make you think that you're not this person.
Yeah.
And it's blocking you. I don't care how many blessings you have, you're still being blocked from more.
Yeah.
And some people sit in that energy and they're okay with the life that they have, which is okay as well. I tell people all the time, it's up to you to choose. You can choose to have a G-Wagon, or you can choose to have you a little, have you a little
fancy something.
Well, it's a small car.
Yeah.
A G-Wagon, or just have you a little Honda Accord.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
God might say, I meant for you to have this G-Wagon, but if you're content with where you are and the way your life is going,
now that's a word.
Then be content.
That's what Paul says. I've learned whatsoever state I am.
Be content.
He said, I've had this, I've had nothing. I've had a lot, I've had nothing. But I've learned in whatsoever state I am to be content.
Be content. And if you're content in that situation, just be nice.
Just be nice.
If you're not being nice, then you're not content.
Yeah.
People got to understand that.
Oh, repeat that again.
If you're not being nice, you're not content. Life is complicated but so simple.
Yeah.
I tell people
But you have to choose which one.
You have to choose.
You have to choose one.
You've got to choose.
Listen, we only have a couple of minutes left. I got to bring you back.
Man.
Let me get her on record. Not that I have to get on record, but you're going to come back. You know that, don't you?
I said it the first time. I was going to be back, and I'm back, Larry.
I know.
So, yes, I will be back.
I know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In the remaining 60 seconds that we have, I want you to take that and just encourage people.
To encourage you, I'm going to tell you, wake up in the morning with a smile on your face, even if you don't feel like smiling. Just keep doing it. Care for others, and watch how God unfolds your life before you. Just sit back and watch. I tell people, just relax and watch and be nice. Just be nice. It will not hurt you and kill you to be nice. And don't force things. I'm going to tell you, don't force things. And be happy with where you are today, and don't be afraid to dream about tomorrow. I like that last piece.
So, how can people get in contact with your company to either support it or to engage you for speaking engagements? How can they get in contact with you?
So you can go to my website, Verve, that's V as in Victor, ERV as in Victor, healthstation.com, and I have a contact page on there. I have a link to Ask Astria, where if you want me to speak, you can request that, and just reach out to me there. Phone number is there, all my contact information.
Give me that website again.
VerveHealthStation.com, or you can find me on social media, Astria Goolsby, and message me, and I will respond.
Yeah. So if you need a personal trainer, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get
change your life.
Yeah.
And just
that's
might change
for
your
sure.
life.
Because she is a positive force, and I so appreciate you.
Thank
I have
you.
so much respect for our friendship and the relationship. You've always been very kind, and you've been very honest and very transparent, and you've been positive energy, and I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you joining us. Our only mission is that you embrace hope for life as a result of this program. I'll see you next time. Be good to yourself and be good to others.